Okay, welcome to part 2 of why black men are dating other races. Okay, so now in part 1 we discussed attitude as being the first reason why black men are beginning to date other races. Now it's attitude which is the first reason, but it's this attitude which transitions us into the second reason, which is the black woman's effortless ability to attempt to tear a black man down. So now I'm going to provide you guys with a few examples, and I'm actually going to use my YouTube experiences to illustrate how effortlessly black women can transition into tearing down black men. So there's one of my subscribers who actually has a MySpace page, and let me actually shout her out. Her name is Old Soul Is Me. Beautiful, beautiful sister. Very, very, very attractive one. So one day she sent me a comment on my page, and I, replied to her comment. But while I was on the page, a nigga gonna be naturally nosy, I start looking at the female friends she has. So I see this one female in particular who's actually kind of attractive. So I click on her page, and this is the first thing that I saw. Now please take a moment, bring that back, click pause, and read that message in its entirety. Now mind you, her profile set to private, so all you see is one picture and that message. So now after seeing this, I had to email her. Curiosity got the best of me. And to make a long story short, she explained to me that she had just been through a hurtful situation, and since it's MySpace, she doesn't expect to meet anybody on there anyway. So who cares who sees it? But I kind of didn't get that, because for the most part, everybody knows that in the 21st century, we do use the internet to date. But what she also said is that the only men she dates are black men, which in essence makes it about black men, and now more importantly, two black men. Now let's be clear. As a man, and I mean chocolate. What? You thought chocolate ain't do facials? I grind for this. Why the hell would I want to continue to go further with this woman who had nothing positive to say about men in general? Not one thing. That was her calling card, which ultimately became my stop sign. But now here's the funny thing about that list that was made. In part 1, there were a large majority of women who were complaining that they did not want to be stereotyped and be grouped into one assumption. But I'm guaranteeing you, if those same women came across that list on their own time, the last thing they'd be thinking is, wow, we're grouping men into stereotype. It'd be more like, that's right, girl, you right, them niggas ain't shit. Now look, I'm gonna tell you this. I guarantee you that I could comb through MySpace, I can comb through any internet site and find more messages like that from black women than there are from any other race. And now it's that ease and ability to degrade a man and attack his manhood, which us black men see, which kind of has us fed up. And at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I know I'm a man. I know I have my good points. I know I have my bad points. But at the end of the day, I'd rather find a woman who accepts me for being a man, good, bad, or indifferently, and I accept her for being a woman, good, bad, or indifferently, rather than being with one who tries to tear down my manhood at every opportunity that arises. Now here's a second example that actually occurred based on part 1 of my series. Now the one thing that any loyal GurlTalkkTV follower should recognize is that this series is being done under the Ask a GTV format. So what does that mean? That this is a subscriber's request. Now anybody with common sense should be able to figure out that it wasn't a black male that asked me to do this topic. Well, isn't it interesting that after the first video, I was personally attacked by a large majority of the women who were watching this video? Now, what exactly does that mean? I've received emails since part 1 from women that have told me that I'm a sorry ass excuse for a black man. I've received emails that have said I'm a white woman lover and supporter. There were so many women out there that were attacking my manhood. I mean, I just went through some of the comments and I see one of my female subscribers who did a tag of love that tried to call me a YouTube player. Because I told her I had a crush on her. And now her complaint was that I had been flirtatious with more than one woman. Well, you know what? She's right, because that is the freedom of not being your man. But let me tell you this, ain't none of those women been to my house. Ain't none of those women know where I store the Magnum, because there's not a woman from YouTube that has been into my living space. And on the flip side, there's not a woman from YouTube whose living space I've entered into. Not one. So what's my point? For those that attacked me, either one, didn't recognize and understand what the Ask a G TV format is, or worse, didn't even care. Now think about it like this and recognize how scary it really is out there. My channel, GurlTalkkTV, is dedicated to uplifting women. I have 32 videos which are designed to give insight into the male perspective of the male mind, thus enabling women to make better educated decisions in reference to their mind, their heart, and their bodies. And regardless of that, it was nothing for these women to find any means necessary, an excuse or a reason to tear me into pieces and destroy or try to take away all the good I've done. So think about it like this. What about the men that you have no evidence on? What about the men who do not have a channel for you to go and watch and get an idea of who he is and what he's trying to represent? And now if my visual resume isn't good enough to protect me even just a little bit from the aggressive, I can't stand a man attitude that so easily comes from black women, what are we gonna do? How can we feel inspired to want to be with the women we most love? Because it's like we're on eggshells based on bad experiences from the past. That's a lot of pressure. Hell, it's too much pressure. Now, I'm sure there's some women that are probably saying, well, he should go through it anyway. Yeah. Walk a day in our shoes. Woo! You know, but that's just the reality. So if black women aren't going to recognize some of the issues that they may bring to the table, then ultimately you are contributing to the abandonment of black love. And that's what we're doing. And it's not to say that, you know, interracial dating is wrong. It's not wrong. You love who you love. You can't help that. But for those who believe in black love and want black love and desire it, it certainly isn't made any easier by some behavioral patterns of the black woman. Now, I know I previously said in my family argument video that I want you to reserve your judgments, but that does not mean I don't want you to comment. Of course I want you to comment, but what I do not want to see from what I saw in the first video is the hostility that was brewing based on the topic. I want you guys to use the black males that you know and get their opinions and have that dialogue with them. Post this series on your MySpace page, post it on your Facebook, post it wherever, and allow them to see it who haven't seen it and have that discussion. And whether you have that discussion on YouTube or outside of YouTube is fine. But please bring that discussion back to YouTube and allow us all to participate in it. Bring them to YouTube, allow us to participate in it. I just want to see healthy discussion on the subject rather than the calling each other out, rather than the beating up the black men and the black men beating up the women. That is not the point of this series. So that's what I meant by that. So please, let's keep it positive and let's keep it healthy. All right, we're running out of time again, so you guys got to look out for part 3, and that'll be coming real soon. So thanks for listening. Thanks for your patience. And let's get through this sensitive topic as a team, because at the end of the day, that's what we all are. Black, white, or whatever. Doesn't make a difference. One love.